Alright folks, tonight I'm going to show you how to change the blade in my compound dual bevel sliding fancy miter saw. A little bit different from my normal videos. Normally I'm teaching you about some sort of practical gardening stuff, but I do a lot of work in my wood shop. So, this is something that I had to flip through the manual and figure out, and I know a lot of people like to watch a video instead of reading a manual, so I'll put a video out there. So this is a, it's upside down, but this is a DWS780. And I don't know what their numbers mean, but it is a, like I said, dual bevel, dual miter, sliding miter saw. Basically, it is my crown jewel of tools. But the blade that's on it, let me set my new blade down here for a minute. The blade that's on it is burnt up. It is dull, it's junk, and multiple times today while trying to cut wood, it locked up in the board, which really pisses me off, and that's really dangerous because it can cause your workpiece to go flying and damage things. And all around just not good. So, we're going to swap it out. First things first, make sure your power's off and you're unplugged just to be safe and not be stupid. Now, to access the actual bolt that holds the blade on, we've got to move this shield a little bit. This back screw right here doesn't look like it does anything. Give it just a little, about a half turn or a full turn. Don't take it all the way out, just enough to loosen it. And what that does is it lets that shield rotate, and then we're going to come in here on this screw, and this is what actually holds this blade, this guard down. Now, I've already loosened this a little bit, but let me loosen just a hair more, and then, just kidding. So we turn this out enough that this stop set here, this little flange, I'm really not sure why it's like that, but it's got to be able to get behind the screw head or else you can't get the shield open. So with that turned out, now you can see the shield comes open. It doesn't really open a lot, but that's all it takes to be able to access this nut. Now, number one thing to remember, this is a right hand, or I guess it'd be left hand thread. It's a reverse thread bolt that holds that on, and it's like that because of the rotation of the saw. If it had normal threads on it, as the blade rotated, it would make the bolt want to work loose. So it is reverse threaded. But we'll go around on this side here, and this is our blade lock. So push that in and just rotate the blade slow and easy until we feel it lock in. Rotate it around, popped in. Now we'll come around and loosen our nut on this side, which I've already broke loose, so let me just hand thread it out real quick. Remember, reverse thread, so I'm turning it to the right. Righty-tighty makes this thing come loose. Alright, so we got the bolt out. Set it down here on our deck. Next you've got your big washer there that holds everything in place. And now you'll see the blade is on this shaft. It's got a squared edge to it. That's for this piece to lock onto. It's got a keyway. But there's a little black washer in here, a little grommet, and I suppose that allows you to actually run a smaller, what do they call the hole through the middle there? I don't know what it's called now, but it lets you run a blade with a smaller hole in the middle. So be careful when you're pulling your blade off. See, that time it stayed on there. It didn't come with the blade. So that little black washer stayed on there. So I'll set that baby aside. Get this nice fancy new one that we got. And just set it right back up on there again. Make sure it squeezes on. And we'll do everything in reverse order. So set that back on. Again, look, watch my fingers. I'm turning it to the left to get it to go in tight. And I know I keep beating that to death, but folks, nothing pisses me off more than when I come across a reverse thread screw and I'm not expecting it. So a little hand tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the video off as far as wrenching it down real tight, but we'll make sure we're locked in on the other side, crank her down. Okay, there we go. So our blade's on tight. You can see it's making the bolt and everything turn with it. So now we just have to put our shield here back down, but I've got to turn the screw in enough that I can actually get the outer part of the shield past it. It's kind of a, like I said, it's kind of a pain in the butt how it all cranks together in there, but okay, so you gotta slide that back down, let it fight you with the spring if you have to, pardon the shaky video. But now you can see I'm slid all the way down into that J slot for that screw. So we'll keep her pushed down. Again, pardon the video, y'all don't really need to see me tighten screws, so just bear with me. Basically I'll go ahead and tighten this one back down, and then don't forget our screw back here. It's hidden behind the shield now, but we'll tighten that one back down, and we're done. This tool comes with the saw. You can see it's got the Torx driver in it for these screws, and it's got the hex nut on it that fits that bolt, and it sits right back here. When you get the saw brand new, it just snaps into this plastic grommet, and the handle of it just kind of slides in out of the way. So don't be thinking you gotta go find some sort of special tools. This thing comes with the tool. So anyway, how to change the blade. It took me a long time in the video, but I promise you if I'm not making the video, I can do it in about a minute flat. So it is very easy to do once you know how.